What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Just wrapped up the live show with the Hawks Nest. If you weren't there for the live, then go check out the VOD. It should be posted pretty soon here. But we did have two things happen during the stream. One thing we were able to discuss a little bit, and the other thing happened right at the end. So we actually didn't see it until after we got offline. But we got some Seahawks news here, and on both ends, it's fairly significant. This first one more obviously so, but this is pretty weighty, and I'm definitely going to say that on both counts, it's good news. This one, definitely good news. I don't think you could interpret it any other way. Uchenna Nwosu. Uchenna Nwosu, as of today, has been activated from injured reserve. This does not guarantee that he will be able to play this week, but it does make it far more likely. Nwosu, in his conference today, his press conference with the media, did say that he thought he would be able to play this week. And it would be a little bit weird to activate him and not play him. If you weren't going to play him, you could have just activated him next week. So, looking good. I really like this. I didn't expect this. I thought Nwosu was going to miss one more game. I thought that that's why McDonald had been playing coy with it. I thought that he was going to be back for the Packers. But I wanted him back for this game because this is a game that I think his presence could be impactful on, even if he only plays like 20 snaps. So, really good news here. This came out a couple hours ago, though, so most people know about this. So, let's just go ahead and clear that out of the way now. It's obviously great news. And beyond just this one game or even this one season, we need Nwosu to look good for these next 5 games, plus whatever playoff games we might get, because we need to have confidence that he is going to be good for us next year. Because it would be expensive to move off of Nwosu this offseason. But if he doesn't look like he has anything in the tank, we may have to, because there are savings there. And if we feel like we'd rather have the, $9 million than a well past his prime because of injury Uchenna Nwosu, it won't surprise me. But I don't want to have to make that decision. So we need to see something good from Nwosu so that we feel good about bringing him back next year. And we, at that point, would have a pretty full edge room. Nwosu, Hall, Mafe, bring in a fourth guy from wherever, maybe a day 3 pick, maybe some cheap veteran, and you're good to go. You're good to go. None of those guys are Myles Garrett, but you're going to get good things out of all 3 of those guys. They're good players. And, I mean, well, theoretically, right? We need Nwosu to prove that he can still do it, and he's got these last 5 games. So that's the thing that happened a couple of hours ago. Great news, wasn't expecting it, but this just happened a few minutes ago from Dugar. He has the personnel notice regarding the Seahawks. They have waived kick returner / punt returner / cornerback, even though he never played cornerback for us, Dee Williams. So Dee Williams is out. He will not be returning any more kicks or punts for the Seahawks. And we have picked up Jaelon Darden from the Cleveland Browns, it looks like, to replace him. So, first, the Dee Williams thing. This guy should have been gone a long time ago. This guy's been a disaster ever since he got here. He goes maybe a week without making a big mistake. And you start to get a little bit of confidence in him. And then the next week, boom, he's making more mistakes. And even when he doesn't make a mistake, he rarely makes it look good. Everything is so hard for him. Finding the ball in the air, getting underneath it, catching it. He struggles with it so much that, quite honestly, it's kind of crazy that he's managed to keep his job this long. So this is a relief. We have 5 games left, and we no longer have to have a heart attack every time the other team punts the ball to us. And hopefully that maintains, because we got to replace Dee Williams with somebody else. He needs to be better. Now, while there were a couple guys on the team who maybe could have done at least some of it, some people were saying Charbonnet could return kicks, JSN. You could go get Aesop Winston back. You could try to put maybe one of your defensive backs back there. None of it sounded great. So the Seahawks have done what I was kind of hoping they would do. They went out and got somebody. And the guy they got, Jaelon Darden, I remember this guy from the draft a few years ago. He was actually a pretty prolific player in college and a pretty prolific player in the draft. So, fourth round pick in the 2021 draft. I remember looking at him a little bit that year. Not a top 100 pick or anything like that, but a fourth round pick, relatively notable. And the thing that stands out about him is number one, he's been a colossal bust as a receiver. He has 75 career receiving yards, 9 career catches, and 2 career rushing attempts. He washed out of Tampa Bay very quickly. And he is, I mean, he's a fourth round pick, so this stuff happens all the time. But he was a bust as a receiver. However, we're not bringing him on as a receiver, we're bringing him on as a return man. And on that level, we've got something here. And that makes this exactly the kind of thing that I was hoping this team would do. Just go find somebody who can do the job out of house. You scroll down a little bit on his stats page, you will see that throughout his career, he's returned a good number of punts, and he's returned some kicks as well. His rookie year in Tampa Bay, he returned 19 punts. And remember, that's not counting any punts that were fair caught or not caught or whatever. So he was probably back there for far more punts than that. He had one 43-yard return. That's the longest of his career. He also had 18 kick returns for Tampa Bay that year. And he only played 9 games. So he was doing 4 returns on average per game of some kind. 2 punts and 2 kicks. So he has experience with it. 2022, when he eventually washed out of Tampa because he just wasn't providing enough, he returned 33 punts that year. Scaled back on the kick returning a little bit, but kick returning is not really the thing that I'm as worried about anyway. But only 3 kick returns that year. And then in 2023, he only played in 1 game, returned 4 punts, returned 2 kicks. And then so far this year, he had been one of the primary return men for the Browns, although he had not been on the active roster lately, obviously. That's why we got him. 22 punt returns in 7 games for the Cleveland Browns. So 3 a game. And then he also had 4 kick returns on the year. Remember, a lot of kick returns get downed now. A lot of them are touchbacks. So understand that there's a reason why these numbers are a little bit lower now. They've changed the kickoff rule to alter how often kicks even get returned. So, yeah, this is his thing. This is what he does. And unlike Dee Williams, who only proved he could do it at the college level, Jaelon Darden has proven he can do it at the pro level. And he's pretty good at it, too. Going to turn 26 in January, so relatively young, so age is not any kind of a concern here. And he was doing this stuff earlier this year. So we don't have to worry about him having lost his touch. He was doing this stuff a month ago, you know? He was doing this very recently. All right, so those are the 2 big news items right now. We do have an injury report coming out in probably like 2 hours, maybe 2.5. I'll make a video about that when we get it, but those are your headlines. Uchenna Nwosu is in. Jaelon Darden is in. Dee Williams is out. Also, Shenault got picked up by, I believe, the Chargers. So if there was any thought about maybe picking him back up at some point, that's pretty much gone. Not that I think there was ever really much of a thought there. All right. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to say this is all good stuff. I like it. I like everything that I see here.